You're listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter read-aloud version of my daily horoscope published on Substack. If you would like to read this, please click on the link in the description box below. Without further ado, here is the daily horoscope. Full moon in Pisces, Sun trine Uranus, and a 3-card spread for the weekend. Weekend horoscope for Saturday and Sunday, September 10th through the 11th, 2022. Welcome to the AstroMommy Newsletter, a daily horoscope that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. The AstroMommy Newsletter is a reader-supported publication, meaning it only thrives thanks to the generous support of lovely people just like you. The 2 best ways you can support my work are to share this newsletter with a friend and to consider upgrading to a paid subscription. Whether you're a first-time reader or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in my community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. Blessings. Good morning, friends. The Lunar Poetry Slam full moon poems are due today. I will post my word poem sometime today, and if you'd like to participate, just post your word poem in the comments of that post or share it with me privately by replying to the newsletter instead. I look forward to reading your poems. You can find out more about this ritual by reading this previous newsletter. The link is in the newsletter. Okay, let's get into the astrology. Well, we had the full moon in Pisces come exact early this morning at 5:58 a.m. Eastern Time, but she will look full all weekend long. The moon moves into Aries on Sunday at 2:46 a.m. Eastern Time, so I think Saturday will be very Piscean and Sunday very Aries-like. Remember that the full moon in Pisces is in opposition to the sun in Virgo, with the Earth caught in between these 2 luminaries. That's one of the reasons I think full moons are always so intense. And with Mercury now retrograde and Mars slowing down, his retrograde will be on October 31st. The Earth is in a part of the heavens where she is having planets close in on her from all sides. She's already in between Saturn and Jupiter, approaching Neptune, and when the Sun opposes Neptune on September 16th, only a week away, the Earth will be in between the Sun and Neptune. Neptune is also making a little-known aspect called a Contra-Antiscia with Jupiter right now, which acts sort of like an underlying oppositional feeling, and the Earth is heading towards that. So I feel like this full moon is a time when we, as a collective, need to let go of our past and come into the latter part of this lunar cycle, the waning phases, with clear hearts and open minds, but with boundaries firmly in place so that we don't fall for Neptune's spell. There is also an interesting dynamic playing out with Mercury retrograde in Libra, now traveling back to revisit the opposition to Jupiter in Aries again. This transit just happened on September 2nd and will happen again during the retrograde on September 18th, 2022. So think about what was going through your mind on September 2nd or what was happening in your environment. Those themes may need to be revisited, reflected upon, or recalibrated. I know that here in the newsletter on that day, we were dealing with the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune tarot cards in reverse, with the only upright card for the day being the Queen of Cups. So there was a feeling of powerlessness and chaos in people's lives, and trusting one's intuition was where people needed to look for guidance. I'm about to get a little bit more technical here, so just bear with me, or skip to the next section in the newsletter if this is too much astrology lingo. The Mercury opposite Jupiter dynamic is so interesting in that it is a situation that is always present between the 2 planets. Wherever Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius and Pisces, the traditional rulerships, the opposite sign is the detriment of Jupiter, but is Mercury's home, Gemini and Virgo, respectively, and vice versa. So they have an eternal tension between them. Mercury wants to look at all the details of a situation, and Jupiter wants to look at the big picture. Mercury wants to collect thoughts, philosophies, and data, and Jupiter wants to collect in abundance possessions, wealth, and things that represent life, like food, water, shelter, etc. Mercury wants to split everything up into the little details, and Jupiter wants to expand the subject into the very vast and never-ending nature of the universe itself. Also, Mercury is the dispositor of the Sun in Virgo during the full moon, and Jupiter is the ancient dispositor of the moon in Pisces. So this natural opposition between Mercury and Jupiter is very much a driving force for what we may all be experiencing this weekend. The knowledge that we have to pay attention to the details of the here and now, but the desire in our hearts is to think big and have hope for the future. People want to dream and get lost in their fantasies, but the plot line of life right now is making them look at the reality that is before them. Not only is this opposition ramping back up, but Venus and Mars are edging closer and closer to their first square with each other, which will happen on September 16th, since their long conjunction last February, after Venus went retrograde in Capricorn, while conjunct Pluto. And the plot thickens even more when we look at the dispositors of these planets. A dispositor is a planet that rules the sign that another planet is located in. So Mercury is the dispositor of the Sun and Venus because they are in Virgo, and Mars because he's in Gemini, and Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Venus is the dispositor of Mercury because he is in Libra, and Venus rules Libra. Mars is the dispositor of Jupiter because he is in Aries, and Mars rules Aries. This creates a web of motivations like a super juicy and dramatic soap opera. So we have Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter all intertwined in this intricate dance with each other, and the Moon and Earth moving right into the middle of it all, with Neptune casting a spell on the whole lot. Not to mention that we are halfway through Virgo season, getting closer and closer to the darkest time of the year, the fall. The suspense is thick, and we can cut it with a knife, or Mars and Gemini, right? I think that this will be a very interesting weekend, and an even more interesting Mercury retrograde period. It may be time to make some popcorn and enjoy the show. Just saying. On Sunday, the moon moves into Aries, and this energy may cut through the dream or illusion like a scythe cuts through wheat. It could be a harsh awakening on Sunday morning, as the Aries energy doesn't want to be fooled and has no problem cutting out from a situation the moment it doesn't want to be in it anymore, and oftentimes without telling anyone, just going. The Sun in Virgo will be making a trine to Uranus and Taurus on Sunday morning, and this energy could feel exciting and liberating. You may wake up Sunday morning with the best idea you've had in a long time, and the energy to make it so. Or if you are one of the people who decides with the Aries moon energy that it's time to leave a situation or an environment, you could be in the midst of doing that, and it will feel great. You may feel like you are finally on the right path, even though it is a complete 180 from what you were doing before. So be aware of people changing course, doing different things, and having wild new thoughts this weekend. Someone could have their $1 million idea. You never know. Let's move on to a 3-card spread for the weekend. The first card represents the energy of the weekend. Wheel of Fortune, Alexandrite. Quote, Alexandrite, with its changing color, play of green to red, brings harmony, joy, and happiness through its ability to transform. It stimulates creativity and inner growth, facilitating necessary changes. Unquote. The energy of the weekend is a feeling like there are highs and lows happening simultaneously. Staying in tune with the laws of nature and accepting our destiny as both challenges and lucky breaks come up and transformation occurs, bringing new beginnings along the way. What to focus on? Queen of Cups, Gem Silica. Quote, Gem silica, chrysocolla, this royal form of the chrysocola's expression inculcates noble feelings like brotherly love, understanding, harmony, and joy. As a result, there is an increased awareness of our task in life. In addition, it emotions, harmonies, and calms the stressed heart, unquote. The energy to focus on is love, kindness, and gentleness. The Queen of Cups is about intuitive understanding, compassion, and the wisdom of the mother energy inside. So take care of yourself and those around you this weekend with loving kindness, honesty, and helpfulness. The third card, what to avoid, 3 of Coins, Rhodonite, is reversed. Quote, Rhodonite, this precious stone lets us realize our strengths, enables changes necessary for our development, and assists in self-realization. It also has a calming effect on the mind and spirit, unquote. The energy to avoid, the 3 of Coins in the reverse position, has to do with self-criticism and self-doubt. Are you doubting your abilities? Are you doubting what you are creating? Are you being really hard on yourself? Celebrate where you're at and honor the place on the journey. The path never really ends. It just gets to landmarks along the way. There's always more to learn, explore, and do. So be kind to yourself. No one is expecting you to be a guru or master overnight or suddenly whoosh from one reality to another like Superman. So I think this card is telling us that over the next 3 weeks during this Mercury retrograde, don't expect everything to go according to the plan or the goals you have set out for yourself. And remember to stay in the present moment. Take each day as it comes and celebrate every step along the path. Each step forward adds to the whole journey. Each penny adds to the whole pile of coins. And each nail is important when nailing down a roof for shelter. As the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Nothing just magically happens overnight, so trust the process. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy. P.S. I found some typos in yesterday's post after I published it, but typos happen, right?
Today's horoscope was brought to you by Saturday, the full moon in Pisces and sun in Virgo. On Sunday, moon in Aries and the sun trine Uranus. Mercury retrograde in Libra, approaching the opposition point to Jupiter in Aries for September 18th, 2022. And Venus in Virgo and Mars in Gemini, approaching their square aspect on September 16th, 2022. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's cards were pulled from The Tarot of Gemstones and Crystals by Helmut G. Hoffman, available in a newly designed deck by Agmuller Newhausen on Amazon. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a small commission, but there are no additional costs to you. I don't share or recommend things that I don't 100% believe in and use myself. Thanks so much for listening.